You know, one of the things I learned doing this show for a while is I can't do anything right. I can't do anything right. I can't dress myself. I can't speak. I can't light the set properly. I can't focus the camera properly. I can't do mental math. I can't do anything right. And the latest instance of this is that apparently I did two very disrespectful things when I met with President Joe Biden in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. Let me put this up on the screen for you. Yesterday, I published to my social media, including Blue Sky, which, by the way, is the great place to follow me, a picture of me in the Oval Office with President Joe Biden. I have the picture up on the screen, and if you're looking at the picture, there's a cut. Actually, it's really three things I was criticized for. Maybe you can guess what they are. The first criticism I received is how dare I disrespect the office of the presidency, President Biden, and the Oval Office by having one hand in my pocket while I am shaking hands with Joe Biden. I don't even know what to say. I Googled this. It doesn't seem to be a sign of disrespect. This was sort of a casual situation. It's really awkward to stand there for a while as the White House photographer knocks out picture after picture, and you're sort of told to move around a little bit so not every picture is the same. At some point, I don't even remember doing it, my left hand slid into my pocket, and alas, the picture that the White House went with as the official picture of David Pakman with the president was of me with my left hand in my pocket. I think it looks casual and cool, but I'm crazy, right? I mean, what the hell do I know? I'm sure, whoever it was, Brittany from Texas knows better about what I should be doing in the Oval Office. So that's number one. That was the biggest one where people said, David, really, really poor taste. What a faux pas. You're not going to be invited back. I'm not going to be invited back, but that's because Trump's going to be in office for 4 years. Second disrespectful thing that I did, I wore a light gray suit. Guys, this is like the Obama tan suit thing. David, how dare you wear a light suit in winter to the White House? Well, listen, it was 65 degrees that day. You should have seen, there were people who didn't even wear suits as part of our meeting. There was someone there with a bright green suit. This is not a big deal, okay? Get your mind out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the basement. And then finally, a couple people attacked me because I wore a brown belt with a gray suit. I hate to tell you guys, I don't consider myself the icon of fashion, but I know that you can wear a gray suit with brown shoes and a brown belt, or black shoes and a black belt. That's one of the advantages of the gray suit. It's versatile. And indeed, I was wearing brown shoes and I was wearing a brown belt. And Joe Biden didn't care that I wore a brown belt, okay? People can find something wrong, I guess, with anything. And I did something, I guess, evil when I visited the White House. Give me a break. All right, we've got a great bonus show for you today. Final opportunity to take advantage of the New Year's Day special. If you want to take advantage of it and you missed the email on January 1st, you can email info@davidpakman.com and we will send you the coupon code. And finally, we are now indeed in the home stretch for the pre-order campaign for my book, The Echo Machine. The book is now the #1 new release in the fascism category on Amazon. Can you believe it? It is the #5 new release among all media in politics books. You can pre-order it at davidpakman.com/book. And every pre-order gets a bunch of free stuff if you submit your pre-order receipt to davidpakman.com/free book stuff. We are now done with these holiday weeks, a full week of shows next week. Can't wait to see you. But first, we've got the bonus show. As Trump's inauguration approaches, we're already seeing what the next 4 years are going to look like. A Trump campaign official said Pennsylvania election workers will face jail time for counting mail-in ballots with technical errors like missing dates, part of the right's attempt to sow election distrust and weaponize the courts. This story is almost exclusively being covered by right-leaning news outlets spinning the narrative to villainize the election workers, so the public probably has a skewed perspective on what's really happening. That is, unless you use ground news, which lets you see every side to every story like this one. Ground news is an independent platform that exposes the biases of media outlets by showing you who owns them, what angle they're taking on each story, and what hidden agendas might be lurking in the background. Ground News's daily briefings are a great way to stay informed without feeling overwhelmed. It gives a quick breakdown of the day's most critical stories from every angle. Go to ground.news/Pakman for 50% off their unlimited access Vantage plan. It's their biggest sale of the year, and the link is in the description.